My name is John Bachner. I'm the Executive Director of the National Lighting Bureau, a position I've held since 1976. At the Bureau's last Board of Directors meeting in July 2012, we discussed all the changes that have occurred since 1976 to today. We realized that so many things were happening right now that they really put everything that's happened in the past almost to shame. What would it be like 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What would the industry look like? What would its participants be doing? We decided that this topic was so important that we would give over our September 2012 meeting entirely to the topic. I'm looking forward to it, and I certainly hope you are too. If you have questions about any of the issues we've discussed, please get in touch with us. Just come to our website, www.nlb.org, or send us an email at info@nlb.org. Let's say, for the sake of discussion, that the year is 2030. What is the rest of the industry going to look like? I mean, today's manufacturers of light sources, of luminaires, controls. What's going to happen with contractors and ESCOs and the lighting management companies and specifiers and distributors, retailers, showrooms, designers?
Early retirement. I was almost going to say.
Well, what about, I mean, Mike, what about manufacturers of light sources 25 years from now?
Well, you know, we've been talking about these choices and adapting, and there's no question over the years manufacturers will continue to innovate. There's no question about that. And we're seeing that today, and we're definitely going to see it tomorrow. As far as the applications are going to drive a lot of the adaption and the curve. And we talked about retailers. So in the retail space, and I'm talking commercial, you know, the wow factor, the coolness is definitely going to be a part. And as far as being able to control the light source. In more commercial spaces, that's where working with the lighting designers and the education, and I can't stress enough the education aspects, and probably one of the things that's great about our organization, and again in concert with all the others, is getting this word out.
The old business model won't serve us anymore, and we have to move our contractors from the reactive stage to the proactive stage, and we're doing that. 4 years ago, we started in the energy solutions arena, and it's been a major push for the Contractors Association.
One of the things that we haven't really discussed, which I think is going to be very different in 2030, is light and health. Because I think that with the technology and the way that it's going, we'll be able to be in our own physical space, whether you're working in an office and you're in a cubicle or whatever, and if you have certain health issues, or if you're a person that works at night versus working during the day, I think with the controls and with the all the different technologies that are be available, your lighting is actually going to be able to be tied towards your individual health at some point. So you can have the proper wavelengths and whatever it is that your body needs. I really think some of these things are going to really come into it that many years down the road, and I think that's kind of exciting stuff.
The government has stepped in. The government has said no more T12s, no more 100-watt incandescents, and soon no more 75s and 60s. Do you think this will continue into the future, that the government will use regulation to require better lighting?
Well, considering the reluctance of using more energy efficient solutions that we've seen over the past 20 plus years, I don't really see any reason that the government would back off, because we obviously continue to want to use products even though there are better ones available.
We're still using essentially the incandescent lamp that really hasn't changed all that much from the original design. But today the pace of change is so incredible in the different technologies that are coming out that there are so many options, and it's to us in the lighting industry given the task of helping our customers decide what's the best choice, what should they be using, how can we show them that they can pay, their paybacks are short, that their return on investment in buying new lighting just on the energy side alone is incredible. It is so fast that it makes lighting improvement the low-hanging fruit in energy efficiency.
we've found from the lighting management contractor's point of view that any type of government mandates or intervention has had a positive effect in the respect that there's more awareness out there to the general public and businesses. They are more knowledgeable. They are looking to change. They know they have to change. So it's made the market easier for us, and they're actually coming to us in addition to us going to them. So it's had a positive effect from our point of view.
Department of Energy and EPA are spending a lot of time, effort, and money on helping the lighting industry get more efficient and move to the next step. So it's not just the regulation, it's the voluntary efforts of not only, again, those departments in the government, but the industry people behind that. You know, we're all here involved in the industry efforts that are jointly being pushed by the Department of Energy.
To what extent do you believe the federal government may mandate higher prices for energy in order to spur conservation and create more opportunities for alternatives to fossil fuels?
Well, personally, I don't think there'll be mandates of that nature, but I want to key back to the comment about the whole issue of our national security and in terms of energy efficiency and independence. And what's great about our industry is we're very visible. We're always the linchpin or the product that's going to be the low-hanging fruit to look after in terms of a retrofit or a redesign. And I think collaboration is the key. And if there was ever a time for us to all collaborate with NEMA, with the IES, with lighting maintenance companies, and with our contractors and installers, there couldn't be a better time. But mandates, personally, I don't see the government raising. I think that when prices are raised, however, when it comes to energy, just like we're seeing with the cars today, with electric vehicles, as the price of gasoline goes up, I think that adoption rate follows. So there is some relationship that can be tied, but as far as mandating it, I don't see that happening.
The advancements that are being made in microgrids right now are going to allow us to adopt a lot more of the renewable, not base load power, but perhaps making wind energy and solar energy more of a base load because we can control them within these microgrids. So I think as we see the development of those continue to happen, and we're just on the very leading edge of that right now. That's probably the next big movement in the electrical industry beyond just lighting. The expansion of the microgrids, the expansion of the smart grid, and the ability through communication technologies to take advantage of the small changes we make in different areas and really multiply. I don't think in the long run we're going to see electricity prices rising nearly as fast as they have in the past.
I actually agree with you because in Pennsylvania we have a tremendous amount of effort being made to bring up natural gas out of I can't say it right, the shale deposits that the cost of natural gas in our area has gone down dramatically. The adoption of and conversion from gas or from oil to natural gas is happening faster than the people who install the equipment can keep up with. And the concern actually is that it may reduce costs of energy in our area because of that.
Beyond just California, we are seeing NYSERDA in New York and some of the laws that the state of New York and within the city of New York have passed that require energy efficiency in buildings. It isn't just about the phasing out of lamps, but it's also about kind of raising the cafe standards for lighting. In other words, what are we doing to say, how do we reduce energy to a certain level? And the state of New York now has adopted a different standard that's going to force a lot of the commercial buildings in New York City to do major lighting retrofits and advanced lighting control at the same time.
If you were putting up an owner-occupied million square foot office building today, and you expected to own it for at least another 25 years, what type of lighting would you specify?
We really have to look at the total life cycle cost benefit analysis of any of these retrofits. If we're going to change out to a $60 LED bulb in our lamp at home and we only use it 2 hours a day, I don't think we're going to get a payback on that particular application in a very short period of time. So we have to have the energy being used to be able to save it. Can we use that energy in a smarter way, or can we not use energy in a smarter way to help reduce the demands and, of course, the usage and cost?
I suppose this is a good time to put in a pitch now for the National Lighting Bureau, who for more than 25 years has promoted high benefit lighting. And it's manufacturer and system agnostic, but the goal of the organization is to promote professional products, professional lighting design. No matter what the current technology and solution is, the National Lighting Bureau tries to build awareness of the fact that good lighting design can save you money, increase productivity, and benefit both the user and the providers.
Larry, you brought up about controls a little bit. I'd like to ask the group, what is the direction of controls and how important will they be in the future?
Well, I think Mr. Yorgey's probably got a better answer than I could possibly have. I'm into energy conservation, but he's into controls, so I'll turn that over to him.
Very good.
Larry, you calling me a control freak?
I was trying to be nice.
I actually appreciate that.
That was a compliment.
Certainly controls from our perspective are important, and going forward, we can put in the most efficient lighting, but there's still that opportunity of turning it off when it shouldn't be on, and reducing it when it can be at lower levels, whether it's in response to daylight or in response to people's individual needs. I think controls are becoming more important in the standards and the codes as the energy codes are trying to get to an actual kWh type of metric, as opposed to the watts per square foot or power metric we have today. And the only way we can really get to that kWh metric is through controls of the lighting. And we have to tie that in too with the renovation and retrofit side of things. So the paradigm shifts of going to wireless controls, which are becoming far more commonplace today, and the lighting is all becoming digital addressable, so I can control individual fixtures more easily. Those changes are allowing us to do it more affordably, and allowing us to put it into every project. And whether it's something that's mandated from a code or standard to doing things beyond the codes, the controls will be important moving forward.
I think that one of the things that this discussion is really underscored is the fact that there's so much room for choice. I mean, you've got rules, you've got legislation, you've got energy codes that are going to enforce certain types of, watts per square foot, certain types of controls. But beyond that, there's this level of end user choice. They may choose LEDs because they're cool, because that's what they want. They're going to choose a different level of control systems because they think they're going to enhance employee productivity by giving employees more control over their own environment, create the lighting that they need. So, again, you've got this hard and fast rules and you've got legislation. Now you've got choices based on what customers want, what they feel they need for their specific application.
Now there's some effort from the CalCTP folks to take this to a national level, and there's been discussions with Department of Energy to develop a training in advanced lighting controls and be able to certify that the people know what they're looking at.
There was honestly some reluctance to implement control strategies due to the complexities, due to the costs. It was a difficult system to plan out and then install. Now with the advent of the wireless systems, it's much easier, it's less expensive, it's a much easier sell, and we find that benefits our customers greatly.
One of the things I find is exactly what you're saying. In other words, you may start a project where they're asking for a full dimming system, and they're telling you that this is a new building that's being built, and they're going to put skylights in, and they're going to do all the bells and whistles. They're going to do digital control, or they're going to get involved with some type of wireless control. And one of the things that I find also is that where the technology is, because we do, there's a lot of high bay lighting that's done out there. And there's still some limitations that people don't understand with wireless, because certain distances just won't work with those type of applications. But what I find is that if you ask enough questions and you get enough feedback, where you kind of fine tune this, you can get them into some kind of a system that will allow them to have that controllability. Maybe something as simple as a step dimming ballast, because again, their budget is not going to allow you to put in a full-blown system, or the distances are not going to let you to put in a full-blown system. But if you do get involved to the point where the actual person that you're working with, whether it be the engineer or the end user or the building owner, so that they can get a more comfort level, and as far as all the options that are available to them, you should be able to get them into a place where not only can you make the sale, but you save them a ton of money on their energy, and they have a much better productivity in the space.